Ches Mishnah Zayin. Says the Mishnah, Misha Nofla Olav Mapolis. If a building collapsed on a person, Sofik Husham, Sofik Einasham. We're not sure 100% if the person is there. There's a doubt, maybe he is there, maybe he's not there. Or Sofik Chai, Sofik Meis. Maybe he's alive, maybe he's dead already. And you can't be Mechal Shabbos for someone who's dead. But if a person is, maybe there's a Sofik, maybe he's alive, maybe he's not alive. Or Sofik Ovid Kechavim, Sofik Yisrael. Maybe the person trapped under this building is a heathen. Or maybe he is Yisrael. Either way, so long as there is a Sofik of Shaila Pikuach Nefesh on Shabbos for Yisrael, Mefakhin Olov Es Hagal, we are allowed to clear away all the debris in order to try and save him. And that clearing away the debris would involve an Issa D'Oraisa, Melacha on Shabbos, it's Chafira, it's digging, or whatever the Melacha might be, it would involve an Issa D'Oraisa, but we were allowed to do it, because Sofik Nefoshes, Sofik Pikuach Nefesh, you're allowed to be Doicha Shabbos. Now, Motzahu Chai, if you find him alive, Mefakhin Olav, you're allowed to continue clearing away the debris. Now, of course, so what's the Shaila? So the Gemara explains it means for Chaye Shah. In other words, even though clearing away the debris will only momentarily or temporarily extend his life, he's not going to live for many more years or weeks or even months or hours. It would just be another hour or two. Still, you're allowed to be Doiche Shabbos for that. You're allowed to be Doiche Shabbos for a Chaye Shah. V'immeis yanichuhu. If, however, he has died, yanichuhu, you should leave him there. So again, what's the chiddush of that? So the Mefarshim explain as follows: that you're not allowed to be Mechal Shabbos in order to retrieve the body, to retrieve the mace. Because I might have thought that you could be allowed to. Because we know in the case of a fire on Shabbos, you're allowed, the Mishnah says, Matzilim es hameis pnei adleka b'Shabbos, you're allowed to save the dead, the corpse, from a fire on Shabbos. And the difference is as follows. Over there, the reason why you're allowed to do it is because a person is bohol al meisoi, the Mishnah says. He's confused, the Gemara says, he's confused about the mace, and he might come to do a d'oraisa of extinguishing the fire on Shabbos. Here, there is no d'oraisa we're worried that he might do. Well, what d'oraisa might he do? So therefore, we haven't got that concern, and therefore we allow him to, we don't allow him to clear away things, rather we should just leave him there. Okay, now just a couple of ha'oras on this Mishnah. First point is this. When it says Motzohu Chaim Mefakin Olov, you're allowed to clear away the debris, the Gemara discusses this. There's got to be a sign of breathing. If there is no sign of breathing, then they may assume the person is dead. Even if they find, however, no heartbeat, then they shouldn't stop. They've got to continue clearing away the debris, because it's the breathing. The ikar is the breathing. Once they see that there's no breathing, then that's sort of the criteria for death. It's a big discussion, but the ikar is the breathing and not necessarily the heartbeat. So if a person clears away, there's no heartbeat, you've got to continue until you see whether or not this person is breathing. Okay, that's the first point. The second point is this. What is the reason you're allowed to be Mechal Shabbos for Pikuach Nefesh? So the Gemara gives two reasons. One reason is that the Gemara says V'chai bohem, that you should live through keeping the mitzvahs and not die through them. So therefore, you're allowed to be, apart from the three Averis Chamuros, you're allowed to Mechal all of the Torah in order to save life. That's one reason. Another reason is, the Gemara says, Shmer Shabbos Achas, you're allowed to keep one Shabbos, in order, Kadesh Yishmer Shabbos Haba, that you should keep Chalel Shabbos Achas, Kadesh Yishmer Shabbos Haba. You're allowed to Mechal one Shabbos in order that he would keep many more Shabbos in the future. So, two different reasons seemingly as to why you're allowed to be Mechal Shabbos for Pikuach Nefesh. And these reasons apply, Nechora, the halacha is, this applies for Sofik Pikuach Nefesh, for Chaye Shah, as our Mishnah says. However, what is the nafkamina between these two reasons? The nafkamina between these two reasons is a Chaye Shah, is temporary life. For example, if the reason is V'chai bohem, then that applies to temporary life or longer life, Chaye Shah or Chaye Olam. It doesn't make a difference, because life is life. And therefore, V'chai bohem tells me you're allowed to be Mechal Shabbos even for Chaye Shah. However, if the reason is Chalel Lov Shabbos Achas, Kadesh Yishmer Shabbos Harbe, you're allowed to break one Shabbos in order that the person can keep many more Shabbos, but if the person isn't going to make it until next Shabbos, he's only going to live another hour or so, So then that reason wouldn't seem to apply. However, the Mishnah Berurah, the Torah Tamima on the Pasuk brings, I think, the Me'iri. And the Me'iri says a very amazing pshat. He says that even according, I think it's to Rav Shimon ben Manasseh, who says, Shmer Shabbos, Chalel Shabbos Achas, Kadesh Yishma Shabbos Harbe, you would still be allowed to be Mechalel Shabbos for him, even according to his opinion. Why? Because let's say you give the person an extra hour. During that 1 hour, he could do tshuva, he could introspect and think back about all the times perhaps he was Mechalel Shabbos in his life. And therefore, there he would be mesakein all the previous Chil Shabbos that a person has done and transform it into Shmir Shabbos. Therefore, we would still apply the svara of Chalel Shabbos Achas Kadesh Yishma Shabbos Harbe retrospectively, i.e. past Shabbos, not necessarily future Shabbos. So therefore, according to both opinions, one still would be Mechalel Shabbos for Chayei Shah, as is the opinion of our Mishnah. That is the end of Mishnah.